yes, you saw that right. This is absolutely a video that I am making and posting in the year of our Lord 2021. No, you didn't miss a cute little COVID reunion. This is just me a year or two late. So this is Jane the Virgin, Season 5, technically Episode 19, or Chapter 100. So I realized that I never did a recap of the series finale. I did all of Season 5 besides the finale because I hated it. So, yeah, I never got back to it, and I had a lot of other things going on. But I do want to start making YouTube videos again, just on random things. Like, I'm not a family vlogger or anything like that. I just like to do what I like to do. It's fun. So I thought this would be like an easy way for me to get back into it because I really did like making those Jane the Virgin videos. Okay, I'm going to shut up about that now. So for starters, this was advertised as a 2-hour series finale, which made my heart so happy because I really didn't want them to rush it. I wanted closure for all of the characters. I didn't want anything shoehorned. I didn't want anything rushed. I was like maybe even hoping for like a flash forward. I just really wanted everything to feel complete, and I wanted to go in peace. The first hour was cast interviews, which to this day I still haven't seen, based on principle, because number one, how dare you? Number two, as much as I love Justin Baldoni as Raph on the show, and believe me, I was ready to leave my husband for him on our family vacation to Florida, I don't like Justin Baldoni, like, as himself. He's beautiful, however, he makes me cringe. And some of his parenting stuff is, like, fun to read. Like, I appreciate his view on certain things, but otherwise, no thank you. He makes me cringe. And another unpopular opinion that I have, and I mean, y'all can tell me to shove it if you want to, I think Gina Rodriguez is obnoxious. So I don't want to hear you guys talk as yourselves. I'm really sorry. I watched interviews with her, and I was just like on late night shows and stuff, and she's fun, and she has like I feel like her background is really impressive. I feel like she's a really great role model even. But man, especially by herself, she's cool. On panels, awful. So, oh my god, awful. She's either snapping or ow or something in the background of everybody's response. Couldn't take it. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, back to the show. Okay. So also, I swear for God, they added this cast interview special just so that the finale would be chapter 100. I see you. I see what you did. And it's upsetting. Okay, so my hand cramp while writing my notes. I did rewatch this because it was like so not memorable to me. So I did rewatch it. My hand hurt after writing my notes. I'm going to try really hard to read them. I would love it if I had the time to sit down and do my hair and makeup and sit in front of my tripod and like make a cute little video, and you can see my facial expressions and my mannerisms, but it's not happening. I'm really sorry. So I'm going to try to read my notes, and if you hear the papers flipping back and forth and if I stutter, that's what it is. Okay, so Jane and Raph are like super stoked because I don't know if you remember, go back to my videos and listen or rewatch on Netflix, but Jane and Raph are all stoked about her $500,000 book advance, right? Okay, and then they show Zoe and Ro coming over to tell them they're moving to New York already, like 2 seconds in, dun dun dun. They're moving to New York for Ro's show 3 days after the wedding. So like bum everybody out, right? Okay, so side note, if I had one wish in this world, it would not be for like world peace or $30 million. It'd be for Gina Rodriguez's hair. It's gorgeous. It's like perfection. Don't tell me that she has extensions like the Kardashians did us. I just want to believe that her hair is so healthy and full and beautiful and makes the perfect ponytail. So I didn't feel anything. I think they dragged this out like way too long. I just wanted to know how it was gonna end. Like I didn't even care about like the wedding coming up. Spoiler alert. Okay, so moving right along, Petra is planning the rehearsal dinner because remember she's like the maid of honor, best man, whatever the heck they decided on, and Jane is like super giddy, and then here comes Raph's sister Louisa with her big old bag of bullshit, aka Raph's birth parents. So she's like, Jane, I found Raph's birth parents. Like, why? What else? My God, who invited you? Like, I don't even remember how we ended. Like, are we cool? Are we even cool, Louisa? Whatever, girl, bye. Okay, so good news. They were regular people, not crime lords. Bad news is they're both dead. Okay, so like while in bed, Jane tells Raph about his parents, and there's zero build up. There's like because now we only got 1 hour to wrap it up, girl. So there's no build up. There's no like Jane like talking to people like, oh, what do I do? Like none of that. She tells him, no build up. It turns into a really sweet moment that like wraps up really quickly though. So like they're great. Next scene, Rose's mom shows up, right? The Glamour. She shows up and Mateo has now taken Rose's spot. She is just like gushing over him, thinks he's just like the world starts and ends with this boy, which I love. Great. Also, Lena is pregnant. She pukes in a plant or something like that. Rehearsal night, really sweet speeches. Patrick gets emotional. There's an awkward moment where Ro wants Raph to call him dad, and it like a lot of lingering, goes on for too long, and it's like, girl, we got an hour. This is what you're spending your time on. I don't like it, but whatever. It's really awkward, and Raph declines, so he's not dad yet. Okay, so it's weird to see everyone cool with Louisa. Like I said, I don't remember where that storyline left off exactly. Like, I'm sure if I tried, I could, but besides, she was like seeing a murderer, so like I would keep my distance, but whatever. And just FYI, I did notate that we are only 16 minutes into this episode, and this is all that it's had. It's like, birth parents, Louisa, Rose's mom, Lena's pregnant. Oh my God, $500,000. Everybody's moving. Bleh. So Jane keeps putting off writing her vows. Wonder what that's about. So anyway, we'll come back to that very quickly. So she sent the final draft of her book in, but wasn't 100% content because she's Jane, and that's like how she operates. So she thinks of something at the rehearsal dinner, foreshadowing upcoming hoopla. Get ready. Okay, it's a doozy. But don't worry, Jane hasn't written her vows because she says she thinks about how lucky she is every day and already knows what she's gonna say. And Raph says that he loves Jane so much that it didn't faze him to hear that his parents are dead. That actually happened. Go rewatch it. If only you could love something so much. What? Parents? Who cares? I have Jane. So, okay, Zoe is second guessing moving to New York. So there's an emergency meeting at Abuela's house because she's freaking out, doesn't want to move. The Villanueva women comfort her, all is well, because we don't have any more time. So, get over it, Zoe. We don't have time for this crap. So, Ro gives Raph, he goes to the apartment and gives Raph a traditional wedding lasso. It's like a Mexican thing. And Raph can't call him dad because it's weird. And then Ro's social media blows up. Okay, did you get all that? Cool. Jane, Alba, and Zoe spend the night together, which was really cute, actually. I really did like those scenes. They spend the night together before the wedding. They all sleep in one bed. It's super cute. And then we come to the only scene that made me emotional both times I've watched this episode, Alba's living room montage. It's from like when she first moves in with Mateo, and just everything that's happened up in that house and that awesome wallpaper. Anyway, another side note, just note to self, and if my husband's listening to this, I want a porch swing. I want a porch swing for my daughter and I to like hang out on and chit chat. My porch is not currently big enough for that, so just like throwing that out there. Okay, it's wedding day. It's wedding day. Jane tells Raph that the new edited version of her book won't make it for Isabel Allende to read and write her blurb on. Okay, so like she got her changes to the editor. I don't write books. I don't know how this all works. What's the chain of command? She got the version that she wanted to the people, but Isabel Allende is supposed to, that's also like big news, Isabel Allende is going to write like a blurb for her book, so like a little review on it, right? But she's not going to get the version that Jane is most content with. So, but she says it's okay. So, you know they're going to leave it at that, right? Oh my God, you were so wrong if you thought that, because Jane tells Raph this over the phone, right? Because she stayed at Alba. So Raph decides to rush the new version to the publisher, and like the guy that's sitting in the office all by himself is like, "No, yeah, thank you so much. This will time out perfectly, no problem." The catch is Raph can't get out of the parking lot of the publisher's office, so he drives through that little bar thing, you know, and gets himself arrested. So he calls Jane from the police station. She's all like moved to tears and like amped on it because that's like a really awesome romantic gesture that you could do for her. So she goes to bail him out, but there's no car. And then her Uber is stuck because, of course, there's a marathon, which I believe they referenced earlier in their episode. It's like, oh, don't forget about the marathon. And like, yeah, it's going to ruin everything. Okay. So she takes the bus because, like, trusty bus. I appreciate that because I grew up taking the bus and, like, didn't get my driver's license until my late 20s. So my mother didn't drive. My grandparents didn't drive. It was great. Took the bus everywhere. So she pays the driver. This really upset me. She paid the driver and the passengers to be her ride to the post office, whatever. She had some errands to run. No, she paid them to be her ride to the police station and her wedding. But she started off with a reasonable amount, and everybody's like, what the hell, I got stuff to do. What are you talking about right now? We got places to go. We're on the bus. But no, they're all going to stay on the bus and ride this ride with her for like $200 or $300 a piece. It was disgusting. Like, that's how you're going to spend. Go buy your couch, girl. That's how you're going to spend your book advance. That's crazy. Mind you, we are 31 minutes in. Okay, so they get Raph from the police station. They pick up Rose, Zoe, and Alba. Jane gets ready on the bus. It's pretty funny. Like, they're trying to, like, at, like, red lights, put her eyeliner on and stuff like that. It's cute. On, like, the way to the bus, right, because they're running out to the bus to get on to go to the wedding. Rose is recognized by marathon runners, and so, like, that's a nice little boost for him, because remember, social media blow up. He's, like, super popular right now because of the show, and the show that they're moving for. But it's yet another appearance by Justin Baldoni's wife. I don't know if you know. Let me know if you remember where else she popped up in the Jane the Virgin series. She's also in 5 Feet Apart, that movie that he did. Okay, like as if I didn't watch it 27 times. Back at the ceremony location, Petra is trying to entertain the guests. She's doing a terrible job at it. JR shows up. They make up. Unfortunately, Petra's dress is friggin' awful. And how come? Like, she always looks amazing. I want to be her in all those little shorts she wore in season 1. She looks amazing all the time. She always has these, like, gorgeous dresses on, and it's like this awful, like, it's a weird length. I don't know why they did that to her. Like, this is your last look for the show. It was really upsetting to me. But anyway, she and JR are, like, they're all good. JR sits down as a wedding guest in the audience. We find out Petra's mother is in Siberia, and Petra was actually part of a set of triplets 34 minutes in. Okay, she has a brother, also played by Yael, right? Am I saying that? Okay, it's been a while. So, the crew exits the bus to walk down the aisle. The kids read from a children's book. It's the first time I thought those girls were cute. I'm sorry. I don't know if I've admitted this in the past. I know that I tweeted it before. No, I think I have, because I tweeted it before and I was like, oh, that people weren't happy. I didn't need those 2 little girls. Cute children in real life on the show don't want you here. Okay? Petra shouldn't have impregnated herself. I'm bitter. But it was the first time that I was like, oh, they're cute. And then we find out that Mateo is the narrator in the lamest way. So lame that I missed it the first time and went on Twitter to find out, because I'm like, well, what the heck? I thought they were going to reveal it. It's somehow, I'm sure, like, my kid came running through to ask me for something at the time, and boom, missed it. It was, like, just so lackluster. I was like, really? The narrator made a comment after Mateo read from the book, and it was like, oh, so you're the narrator, which, like, everybody could have guessed, but it was just such a lackluster, like, reveal. I don't know. Alba's speech is really sweet, because remember, she is the, like, officiant of the wedding. So her speech is really sweet. They do the lasso thing, and Raph says, thank you, Dad, to Raph, and it's so not necessary and made me cringe as well, but, you know, it's important for Ro to have his moments, because he's so sweet. So then Jane and Raph are, like, too emotional to get through their vows, so they exchange papers and read them to themselves, which is bullshit. It's a cute scene and all, but, you know, those would have been really good, because Jane's a writer, and Raph is, like, his like, emotional scenes just always touch me. Like they both always have such amazing things to say. Those really been really good vows, but you know, time crunch. Okay, so they keep kissing too soon, but their actual kiss, like when they're pronounced husband and wife, their final kiss with the flowers was shot really beautifully. Like it was so pretty. You know those white flowers that always kind of like swirl around them when they have a romantic moment and kiss. It was really pretty. It really was. And then Esteban proposes to Darcy during family photos, which, I mean, I guess that's fine, whatever. Because, by the way, they're moving to New York, too, with baby, and so, like, all is well. Anyways, the episode ends with, right, like, boo, it's already ending. Okay, so the episode ends with Raph and Jane sitting under a tree. We get no view of the wedding reception. And I guess, like, we already had our wedding episode with her and Michael and the cute father-daughter dance and all that, but I like all things wedding. And once again, I wanted to soak it all up. It's the last episode of this, like, crazy-ass series, and Jane and Raph finally get to be together, like, forever, right? And I was like, ah. Raph said, hey, you never told me what happens at the end of your book. And she says, they make it into a telenovela. And Raph says, well, who'd want to watch that? And then they do this stupid heart thing around them, like it closes in, and then she winks. No freaking thank you. And I totally hate to be so negative, but just absolutely no thank you. The hardest of passes. I watched it in real time too. Like I watched it not on my DVR, not on Netflix, not like I didn't just watch it, you know, last week. I watched it real time as it premiered on whatever day of the week it was. I can't even freaking remember. And I looked forward to it and all that build up. And then finally together, it was just the lamest ending to me. And I really had my heart set on a flash forward. Maybe that's corny. Maybe that wouldn't have wrapped it up for some people. I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't have been appropriate. But I don't make TV shows. I'm just saying, it's Jane the Virgin. So, okay, granted, New York is expensive to live in. I don't know what Miami, Florida is like, but New York is expensive to live in. She's all settled in her apartment with Raph and Mateo, but couldn't they do a flash forward where she eventually got to New York? Wouldn't New York be an awesome place for a writer? Maybe real estate opportunities for Raph. Petra was talking about franchising and like expanding the hotels. Would you want a hotel in New York perhaps? I don't know. They're rich. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody could have ended up in New York in some kind of way, or them making their way back, or just, I don't know, just seeing them all together again in Florida. I don't freaking know. I just thought that they could have done something really interesting with that. And then they also talked about having more babies and never got back to that. There was no mention of like how that would happen, if they wanted that to happen. I don't know. I just really thought that to see where like Rogelio's career was, if Zoe was a nurse, like what the heck, like just something. It was just so. So anyway, that's Jane the Virgin episode, the big 100 series finale of Jane the Virgin. Let me know what you thought about it. I don't know. It's COVID quarantine time, so maybe somebody will like to start up a conversation about something random from way back when. But thanks for watching if you made it this far, and yeah, I'll be posting more videos, and maybe I'll find a new show to recap.